Good evening, Keluarga Malaysia. You're watching News at 10. I'm Brendan Lepal. Making the headlines tonight. MOH upping surveillance for acute hepatitis at clinics. Malaysia aims to regain palm oil market share in European Union. And thanks for your company. The Health Ministry has stepped up surveillance for acute hepatitis in all clinics and hospitals following a worldwide spike in cases of severe acute hepatitis of unknown origin in children. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin, in a statement today, asked general practitioners to refer children aged between 1 month and 18 years old who show symptoms of jaundice and acute hepatitis to hospitals for further treatment. The symptoms, he said, include loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, fatigue and dark urine. Based on the ministry surveillance so far, a 4-year-old boy was diagnosed with acute hepatitis and treated at a hospital in Sabah in March. Initial investigations found that the boy contracted COVID-19 previously and had no other history of illnesses. Khairi said the ministry is currently developing a protocol for the reference and management of severe acute hepatitis of unknown origin cases. He also urged parents to bring their children immediately to the nearest healthcare facility for treatment if they exhibit symptoms related to acute hepatitis. On 23rd April, the World Health Organization, through its event information site EIS, reported incidences of severe acute hepatitis of unknown origin among children aged between 1 month and 16 years old. As of 21st April, WHO has received 169 reports of severe acute hepatitis of unknown origin cases from 12 countries, with the United Kingdom reporting the highest number of cases so far, with 114 cases. On another note, the Health Minister also announced the formation of a task force to investigate the death of a young doctor in Pulau Pinang who fell to his death after allegations of bullying were brought to his attention. 2 days ago, the Pulau Pinang Health Department confirmed the death of the houseman assigned to the State General Hospital after news reports of the incident raised question over the work conditions for junior doctors. State Health Director Dr. Ma'ruf Sudin said the trainee doctor was placed at the Pulau Pinang Hospital on 4th April and fell to his death on 17 April from the latter's building of residence. On the 4th of May, the state's Deputy Chief Minister P. Ramasamy and State Executive Councillor for Health Nurlela Arifin had both highlighted the houseman's death and called on the authorities to delve deeper into the incident. Nurlela claimed junior doctors at government hospitals in Malaysia are subject to inhumane working conditions that often left them exhausted and vulnerable to accidents. Ramasamy claimed the latest houseman fatality to be the result of bullying and harassment, adding that it was the second incident in 2 years. The government has given its assurance that fares for the East Coast Rail Line ECRL service will not burden the people. Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said Terengganu PKR Chairman Azan Ismail's claim that ECRL fares were up to 6 times higher than airfares was speculative and unsubstantiated. He also said discussions are still ongoing at the federal level for the fares to be equivalent with Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad's KTMB Electric Train Service (ETS) on Peninsular Malaysia's west coast. Yesterday, Azan was quoted by the media as saying that ECRL fares are expected to be expensive due to its high construction costs and urged the government to look into aspects such as affordability. The ECRL project is expected to be completed by the end of 2026. The construction of the ECRL covers 665 kilometers, involving 59 tunnels, and is expected to cost 50.27 billion ringgit, involving 4 states, namely Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, and Selangor. Datuk Seri Dr. Wee also said the government does not intend to impose high fares for passenger services in order to recover construction costs, as it is a project for the people that certainly will not be burdensome. In fact, he added, cargo transport services for industrial use and manufacturing are expected to generate more than 70% of ECRL's revenue sources when it becomes operational in 2027. He said ECRL's fare structure must obtain prior government approval before it could be implemented in line with the requirements of the Land Public Transport Agency. The Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, today bestowed the state's highest order of chivalry on Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong in a special investiture ceremony held at Istana Besar in Johor Bahru this morning. According to the Sultan of Johor's official Facebook post, Lee, 70, received the most honourable order of the Crown of Johor, First Class Dato Sri Paduka Mahkota Johor, SPMJ, which carries the title Dato. His wife Ho Ching, who recently retired as Temasek Holdings Chief Executive Officer, was also honoured with the most exalted order of Sultan Ibrahim Johor, First Class Dato Sri Mulia Sultan Ibrahim Johor, SMIJ, which carries the title Datin Paduka. The investiture, which was steeped in tradition and ceremony, was also graced by the Pemaisuri of Johor, Raja Zaid Sofia Sultan Idris Shah, the Crown Prince of Johor, Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim, as well as other members of the Johor royal family. Johor had previously also bestowed orders of chivalry on Singapore leaders as a testimony of the warm and close friendship it enjoys with its immediate neighbour. They include the late former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, who received the SPMJ award on 9 April 1984 in conjunction with the late Sultan Iskandar's 52nd birthday. On another note, Sultan Ibrahim said the presentation of the state's highest award to Singapore Premier Lee Hsien Loong was a testimony to the neighbours' long-standing close and strong relationship. His Majesty said Johor and Singapore since the immemorial have enjoyed a special relationship, and today's special investiture in honour of the Singapore Prime Minister is a tangible manifestation of the neighbours' close friendship and deepening ties. Sultan Ibrahim further thanked Lee for his continuous efforts to strengthen their close and strong relations. His Majesty said this through the Royal Press Office, RPO, after Lee received Johor's highest state honour, while his wife, Ho Ching, received a state award. The comments were posted on His Majesty's official Facebook shortly after the ceremony. Yet to come, JPJ issues over 8,000 summonses during Raya operation. Stay with us. But first, the Ministry of Plantation, Industries and Commodities, MPIC, will take advantage of the shortage of global edible oil amid the political tension in Europe to promote Malaysian palm oil, paving the way for the commodity to regain its market share, especially in the European Union, EU. Minister Dato Zuraida Kamarudin, in a statement released today, said Russia's invasion of Ukraine on 24th February this year has significantly affected the global vegetable oil supplies, as the uncertainty over Black Sea exports have resulted in higher vegetable and edible oil prices. The minister added that coupled with the latest move by neighbouring Indonesia, which is the world's largest palm oil exporter, to widen the scope of its export ban on raw materials for cooking oil to include crude and refined palm oil, global vegetable oil prices are likely to remain high in the first half of this year. Dato' Zuraida also said she has instructed relevant agencies under the ministry, such as the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, MPOC, and the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, MPOB, to undertake aggressive efforts and campaigns, not just for their commodity, to fill the global market gaps in the interim. These agencies, in collaboration with MPIC, will also have to ensure that Malaysian palm oil remains a top choice in global markets in the long run, particularly those where the consumers have been exposed to vicious propaganda in the past. The concessionaire of the Kuala Lumpur-Kara Expressway KLK and the East Coast Expressway Phase 1 LPT1 Anif Berhad has advised motorists to continue to follow the Travel Time Advisory TTA issued for their return journey to the Klang Valley after celebrating the Idul Fitri holidays. Its Senior General Manager Radzima Mohammad Radzi, through a statement released today, said the number of vehicles on both routes has begun to increase and the TTA issued is aimed at ensuring a comfortable and smooth return journey. From 29th April to yesterday evening, a total of 1.15 million vehicles were recorded on the KLK Expressway, whereas the LPT1 recorded a total of 570,393 vehicles. However, rest and service R&R areas along both routes were under control. She said motorists' compliance with the TTA issued has increased to almost 74%, from only 55% since it was first announced last week, and this has helped highway management operations, especially in ensuring user comfort at R&Rs. Based on the TTA issued for tomorrow and on Sunday, road users from Pahang are advised to enter the highways from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., Terengganu 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Kelantan 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. to midnight. Radzima also reminded road users to tap the touch and go card on the tracking device at the toll lanes for the purpose of verifying highway entry and exit, even though no toll fee is being charged at certain times, as previously announced by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. 8,036 summonses were issued by the Road Transport Department JPJ during the duration of Operasi Hari Raya Idul Fitri 2022 nationwide as of last night. Now, all the summonses were issued after inspecting 44,737 vehicles since the operation commenced on 29th April. JPJ Senior Director of Enforcement Dato' Lokman Jama'an said there are still many road users who choose to disregard the law despite the department constantly giving advice to follow the rules and regulations. He said this to reporters while conducting an inspection at the Genting Highlands bus terminal, in which 11 buses were inspected. The operation was meant to ensure public transportation services are in tip-top condition, especially the condition of the first and second brakes, apart from ensuring that the drivers obey the law when on the road.
Pemeriksaan khusus yang kami jalankan juga terhadap bas-bas ini, termasuk bagi bas-bas persiaran, mereka perlu ada brek kedua. Kerana laluan-laluan ini memang laluan-laluan yang memerlukan brek yang betul-betul terbaik bagi memastikan keselamatannya.
In other news, police are on the hunt for 3 suspects believed to be involved in a robbery of 1 million ringgit in cash and jewelry at a pawn shop in Pasir Mas, Kelantan yesterday. Acting Kelantan Chief of Police Dato' Muhammad Zaki Harun said the police have set up roadblocks all over the state and Thai border under Op Tutup. In the 4:45 p.m. incident, the suspects went into Ike Lee pawn shop wearing masks and armed with knives and a weapon believed to be pistols. Dato' Muhammad Zaki in a statement said the owner and 5 of his employees were then tied and forced to sit still under a table while they ransacked the shop. After taking the money and jewelry, the suspects fled in the pawn shop owner's vehicle with the registration number ST6998W. The police operation, jointly conducted by the Criminal Investigation Department and General Operations Force PGA from the 8th Battalion, then found the vehicle abandoned at Kuala Jambu, Pangkalan Kubo. Police called on those with information on the robbery to come forward and assist in the investigation, which is conducted under Section 395/397 of the Penal Code. And Malaysia should not put unnecessary high hopes on Lee Zijia in the 2022 Thomas Cup Championship in Bangkok, Thailand, scheduled from 8 to 15 May. Former national player Roslyn Hashim said even though Zijia is fresh from the Badminton Asia Championships victory in Manila last Sunday, the performance of the national men's singles player is still unpredictable since turning professional in January. Rosalind said there is no need to pressure Setia, who should be let to play his game naturally since he is only starting to chart his own trend, unlike Dato' Lee Chong Wei, who has a long track record for consistency. He added other team members should also share the pressure in the Impact Arena to ensure success, as it is a team event. Apart from Sijia and Liu Darren, the national singles players for Thomas Cup included 3 young players, namely Ng Zeyong, Aidil Sholeh Ali Sadikin, and Leong Junhao. The national doubles camp is represented by Aaron Chia as team captain, pairing with Sopo Yik, followed by Goh Zefei and Nur Izzuddin Rumzani, Ong Yusin and Teo Yi Yi, as well as Xia Wei Jie. Malaysia have been drawn with the 2014 champions and tournament second seeds, Japan, along with England and the United States in the 2022 Thomas Cup Group D competition.
To be certain on whether certain information are true or false, follow these tips. Accuracy. Is the news source a credible person or research? Authority. Identify the author of the news and ensure that they are experts in the field or whatever is being written about. Currency. Check the publication date. It may be an old article that was resurfaced for publicity and traction. Coverage. If the news is too short and not specific, it is advisable that you ignore it. Objective. Evaluate the possible purposes of a publication. If it serves no benefit or instead damaging and may result in chaos, it is better to avoid sharing. Tidak pasti, jangan kongsi.
And wrapping up the news at 10. In our top story, MOH upping surveillance for acute hepatitis at clinics. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, it's lights out. I'm Brendan Paul. Salam Keluarga Malaysia and have an awesome weekend. The contest will represent